the CNMI. Cars Plus Finish Line Express is now open at Cars Plus in Mighty. The state-of-the-art car wash is now open 7 days a week from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurant, serving your local breakfast, lunch, and dinner favorites for over 45 years.
Ahead on KUAM News Primetime.
A special session called not once, not twice, but 3 times in a few short hours today. The governor adamant that senators need to discuss the proposal for government-wide pay raises. This as senators tried to tackle public school measures during a separate emergency session. Plus, the search for a 31-year-old free diver is called off. The boating and fishing community now mourning as they remember the owner of Spear Culture Charters. And we head up to the CNMI where the chief of the Bureau of Motor Vehicles answers to federal charges filed against her. Our regional correspondent with that report.
Hafadays and buenas noches. Bienvenido para KUAM News Primetime. Guahusi Nick Delgado.
Sa Guahusi Destiny Cruz. Sizos maasi puri mañana mizu guini na programa.
The legislature called into special session today by the governor to act on the GovGuam pay raise bill. Senators were also set to meet in an emergency session called by the speaker in what may be the first time ever that a special and an emergency session were held on the same day.
And more on that emergency session in a moment. But first, Nestor Lecanto reports on a special session that barely was. Senators met the legal requirement to gather, but that was about all they did.
The special session took all of about 12 minutes. Appropriations Chairman Senator Joe San Augustine moved to accept the pay raise bill for discussion, and Rules Committee Chairman Chris Barnett was asked to read the governor's special session memorandum.
I write this because I believe Chairman Joe San Augustine and my fiscal team can address any financial questions your colleagues may have during the Committee of the Whole regarding funding for the proposed GPP adjustment. As I said to you recently, I did not approve the long overdue adjustments to the general pay plan just because I am legally required to do so, though Guam law does in fact require regular review and updates to government pay plans. I approve these adjustments because they are urgently needed to safeguard our schools and protect and promote the public interest. It is also the right thing to do.
But Senator Barnett then moved to recess the special session, saying senators have more pressing matters this day.
I know that there's much support for pay raises within this body. I've spoken to many of our members. However, I feel like it's incumbent upon us to deal with the emergency session that is clearly on our plate and before us today at 2 p.m. So I would just motion that we recess this special session until 2 p.m. tomorrow, Madam Speaker.
The governor called for the special session after Republicans during the Rules Committee last week blocked the pay raise bill from the March regular session agenda. Vice Speaker Tina Barnes and Amanda Shelton, 2 key votes for the Democrats, were not present. They were also not present today. Nestor Lecanto, KUAM News.
Well, the governor was apparently not happy with the one-day recess. She called senators back for a second special session just 3 hours later. Speaker Therese Terlahi sending notice to colleagues to come back at 1 p.m. In her memo, the governor described the legislature's earlier move as, quote, an attempt to utilize procedural rules to circumvent my clear authority under the Organic Act. She called it a violation of the separation of powers, and she said she felt compelled to exercise her authority for a matter I believe the public interest requires. Republicans were initially a no-show, though, but showed up at 2 p.m. for what was supposed to be the start of the emergency session on school aid and repairs. But the same thing happened. Here's Senator Barnett and Speaker Terlahi again.
I believe we're already under a first call to special session by the governor. So I would just make a motion that we adjourn this second special session call.
There's been an objection. All in favor, please raise your hand. Motion carries. Second special session is adjourned.
Shortly after that, the governor issued a memo for a third special session. And all the while, as we said, senators were also scheduled for an emergency session to act on several bills that address deteriorating conditions at the public schools. The first bill discussed would require GDOE to comply with public health and sanitation requirements by school year 2023-2024 This pushes up the deadline by almost an entire year. Guam DOE was originally given 5 years to meet the requirements. Bill sponsor Senator Chris Barnett says there are expectations if schools have good reason for not
although
complying.
some have called this bill drastic, and I do believe in many ways it is also reasonable that we're just asking the Department of Education leadership, even taking into consideration what many would call their dismal track record when it comes to keeping promises relative to facilities and maintenance, that we're just asking them to start these efforts, and in good faith, if these efforts are underway and in progress, a corrective action is being addressed, then they can get that variance and remain open.
As they were discussing the measure, the governor sent yet another memo for a fourth emergency session. Earlier, Republicans said they were advised by legal counsel that an emergency session could go forward, despite being in recess from a special session. Now to a story we've been following for several days. The search for 31-year-old Dylan Cruz is suspended. Rescue officials calling it off Sunday after 3 days of searching the area just outside of Apra Harbor.
Cruz, no stranger to the local boating and fishing community. Tonight, we speak with a fellow waterman who was one of the last to see him alive.
72 hours searching land and sea, authorities having no luck finding local boat captain Dylan Cruz.
It's been a few days already, and it's very unfortunate.
Yohei Harada, who operates a parasailing boat service at Hagatne Boat Basin, is stunned to hear that his friend never made it back. He last saw Cruz Thursday.
I knew Dylan, yes. I've been on his boat a few times for spearfishing. And yeah, it's been a few years since I first got to know him.
The pair fished together a few times, and Cruz was known by many to be a strong diver.
He's been, basically a waterman for a long time, I believe, since back then, so he's very acquainted with a lot of the other watermen, a lot of spearfishers, a lot of fishermen.
During their last conversation, he says Cruz, who owned Spear Culture Charters, told him that his boat was down that day and that he had to put his customers on the boat Mamulin. Harada saying he wished Cruz luck before he went out. It was around 6 p.m. Thursday. The Guam Fire Department, the Coast Guard, the Navy, and others got the call that Cruz was missing. Cruz was last seen going free diving at Blue Hole just off Rody Point. He never returned back to the boat. On Friday, search crews located Cruz's spear gun, but had no luck finding any other signs of him. By Sunday evening, the search was suspended.
It came to me as a shock, of course. It was quite unbelievable that this happened, but just, in general, water sports can be very dangerous, obviously. And I just hope that me, of course, and the family and friends, his close friends, will be able to recover his body very soon.
A sad time for the local boating and fishing community, and most especially for his loved ones. His mark in the community was tremendous.
What got me into fishing and doing the charter business was I was actually in the Army, and I missed home so much that I just started to think how much I missed being back home fishing with my grandfather.
This is an interview Cruz did with KUAM featuring his charter company back in 2021. Cruz was 31 years old.
And our heartfelt condolences to Dylan's family.
Yes, our sincere condolences. We'll be right back.
Get up-to-the-minute news, plus access to alerts, streaming radio, promotions, and more on your mobile device by downloading the KUAM News mobile app, available at the App Store now.
Guam is truly a majestic place with its sheer natural beauty, wealth of beaches, and culturally rich landscape. Unfortunately, Guam has a real problem with unwanted invasive species. Help us in preventing their introduction and spread. The coconut rhinoceros beetle, the little fire ant, the African snail, Siam weed. These are just a few of the numerous invasives on Guam. Follow proper custom procedures when bringing plants and animals into Guam.
Help protect Guam. Tell your family and friends about invasive species.
To report invasive species, call 475-PEST.
The wait is over, Guam. The all-new state-of-the-art car wash is now open at Cars Plus. Introducing Finish Line Express, open 7 days a week. The all-new cashless drive-through car wash is also the largest car wash on island that can accommodate vehicles such as lifted Jeeps and full-size pickup trucks. Just roll up, pick a wash, insert credit card, or show your EverWash app and roll through. Plus, power vacuums are available to clean the interior. Show your vehicle some love today at the all-new car wash at Cars Plus in MIT. Open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. 7 days a week.
Honey, do you want some milk?
Do you ever wonder how your favorite products make their way into your local stores? Most arrive on state-of-the-art Matson vessels that transport containers of food, household items, equipment, and supplies into the islands every week. Because we know that you depend on us, we work closely with our partners to ensure that our shipments arrive on time, all the time, so you can find your favorite products when you need them. We transport the region's most precious cargo that supports successful businesses and promotes a better quality of life for our families. Matson is proud to have been the hometown shipping carrier for Guam, the CNMI, and Micronesia for the past 25 years, and you can count on us to be here for generations to come.
What you need to know from the Northern Marianas. Follow KUAM CNMI on Instagram for the latest regional headlines.
Welcome back to Prime Time. The CNMI's chief of the Bureau of Motor Vehicles on administrative leave and could face up to 15 years in prison after a federal grand jury indicted her on charges of conspiracy to illegally produce driver's licenses.
Regional correspondent Tomas Manglotnia was in the courtroom and joins us with the latest.
Nick and Destiny, the CNMI's BMV chief Juana Leon Guerrero, facing a federal grand jury indictment last week over a conspiracy to unlawfully produce an identification document. She had her day today in federal court before Magistrate Judge Heather Kennedy, where she pleaded not guilty. We attempted to get comment from her and her counsel. Do you have any comment on the ongoing case?
No comment at this time. Thank you.
All right. And Mr. Torres, are you going to remain her counsel? I know there's a status conference set for April 13th.
That will remain to be seen. We will see. Thank you.
Thanks. Part of her conditions for release proposed by the U.S. attorneys was to give up her passport, which she did agree to surrender. We also learned that she will be having a status conference on April 13 to deal with that matter regarding her representation in this federal case. We also know that the judge set the jury trial for May 23rd. Now, her co-defendant in the case, Yongdae Lee, will be making an initial appearance on March 27th. Tomas Manglotnia, KUAM News, Saipan.
Thanks, Tomas. Now to a national headline unfolding over the weekend. Former President Donald Trump taking to social media saying he's expected to be arrested Tuesday as New York law enforcement prepare for a possible indictment. This dealing with a years-long investigation into his sex scandal, giving hush money to adult film star Stormy Daniels. Guam delegate James Moylan weighing in on this issue.
There's a discussion ongoing, of course, and legal process has to be done. I will say that the Republican Party is strong. We are united through our speaker and the leadership of Kevin McCarthy. He deals with those issues right out the door. So how the final result happens, we shall see. But for the Republican Party, how that affects it, we're still moving forward with the important issues, which is our economy, looking at Biden's budget process, and how we can help reduce our deficits, which is a big concern for the Republican Party now. So how other things come to play, let the legal system figure that out. The Republican Party is strong, and we are moving forward.
And if Trump is indicted, it would be the first time a former American president is charged with a crime. And in other news, it's exciting news for the island's developing cannabis industry.
The Cannabis Control Board sharing a local business hopeful becomes an inaugural applicant for a business establishment license and what this means moving forward.
It's a gradual progression,
But it seems Guam's budding cannabis businesses may be inching closer to operating soon. The Cannabis Control Board sharing in its meeting today that Greenland Farms Incorporated becomes the first ever applicant for a cannabis establishment license on the island. Daphne Shimizu is the CCB's vice chair and director of the Guam Department of Revenue and Taxation.
This is the fourth out of the 6 steps to get a cannabis business license, so we're definitely getting closer to being able to license, give an actual or issue an actual business license for a cannabis business.
Still, the application status remains as is, as clearances from varying agencies like the Guam Waterworks Authority and the Guam Fire Department are pending. It's a blockage in the pipeline that first ever applicant Stephen Bisco of Greenland Farms Incorporated chalks up to the industry's newness.
As far as the other departments, they're still trying to figure out on their end what to do for those clearances. So we did speak to them. We would have gotten it done, but like I said, this is new.
To help better streamline the process, Vice Chair Shimizu says she already held a meeting last week with the different permitting agencies, like the Department of Public Works and GFD, to iron out the requirements in the rules and regulations.
Although there were orientations on the actual process, the overall process to get a business license, there were still some things, I think, that at the agency levels, the various agency levels, that needed to be cleared up so that way we can move forward.
Meanwhile, the chairwoman of the CCB, Vanessa Williams, says she's hopeful that by the next meeting, the board will be reviewing a complete application packet for a cannabis establishment license.
I think it's really cool. The technical term that we have our first applicant and you're blazing the trail, no puns intended, to get this process moving. And so I'm sure it's going to be a lot smoother for everyone who comes after you.
Blazing the trail. Good job covering that.
No pun intended. Thank you. Well, in other news, inmates from the CNMI Department of Corrections lending a helping hand to renovate a much-needed apartment building for Rhoda medical referral patients on Saipan.
Here again is our Tomas Menglonia.
Our patients have to travel and stay here to seek medical care. We assess that the facility here is not adequate to house them. We need to prioritize their safety and welfare.
The 6-unit apartment on Saipan meant for medical referral patients from Rhoda is undergoing a complete renovation after years of being shut down. Patients have had to stay at a hotel or the program's other location.
We usually cater to our long-term patients who are seeking dialysis. We are also, we care for our females who are seeking medical or pregnancy care, right? Maternal care.
This $30,000 project on Navy Hill made possible through a 6-year-old Department of Corrections program.
I want to expand on the program, the community outreach program.
15 inmates in the program who are taking classes at the Northern Marianas Technical Institute are working on the renovations.
We want to give it out to also for the inmates to have incentive things for them when they get released. They have something to look back that, their trades, whatever trades that are getting trained from, especially construction, plumbing, electrical, all those stuff. It helps them to outside when they get the release.
The Rhoda Mayor's office says they're seeking help from the local delegation and is accepting donations to complete the project. Tomas Manglonia, KUAM News, Saipan.
Well, it was definitely a magical moment over the weekend for one teenage girl. Leah Rolinski, a 13-year-old girl living with a genetic disorder, was granted her wish.
Through KUAM's partners with Make-A-Wish Guam and the CNMI, Leah and family were given a day they will never forget. Julian Hernandez has the story.
The smile on 13-year-old Leah Rolinski's face says it all.
I feel happy.
But behind the smiles, Leah is living with type 1 neurofibromatosis, a genetic disorder of the nervous system. Her mom, Lorraine Leiby, explains.
She has little tumors that runs through her nerves, so it's hereditary.
Leah also has a learning disability and scoliosis.
Her spine was twisting forward, and it affected her a lot. She couldn't do a lot of stuff.
The young teen's struggle is what led her to the Micronesia Mall on Saturday, with her loved ones by her side as her wish becomes a reality. Kalina Camacho is with the Make-A-Wish program.
Leia had been referred to us last year, and we had to wait a little bit for some medical treatment and procedures to be done and for her to be ready.
For Leah's wish, she used her $4,000 allowance to go on a shopping spree. She was also gifted an iPhone 14 Plus, an Acer touchscreen laptop, a Nintendo Switch with games, and a 2-night stay at the Westin Resort Guam. The weekend adventure also included Leah driving around in style.
So cool, I've never been in a limo before.
So cool that Leah shared her wish with her family.
It felt like a dream. Really care about.
I'm so happy that the kids got to, experience it, and especially her, because she really honestly deserves it.
During the pandemic, the Make-A-Wish Guam CNMI chapter paused granting some of the wishes, especially those that included travel. Leah's wish had been put on hold, but for various reasons. Since restrictions have eased up, Camacho says the organization can continue wish granting for other children and families like Leah.
We love to see the smile on not just the Wish Kids' face, not just on Leia's face, but her family too, and how her family is rallying behind her, and they're here supporting her and having just as much fun seeing her be carefree and enjoy herself on her wish.
Julian Hernandez, KUAM News.
Thanks, Jules. Well, this next story explains why my look is new this week. Shaving for a good cause. The KUAM Care Force partnering with GCC's Cosmetology to host the Brave the Shave fundraiser with the St. Baldrick's Foundation at the Guam Premier Outlet Saturday. It was all done to raise awareness and show support for children fighting cancer.
I kind of just want to support, I feel like this is a good cause, and I feel like I should do whatever I can to support this,
I love it, and it's such a good cause. We can't do enough to help our kids,
Our students are actually participating with this event, and they're really excited, super happy, and they feel so much inspiration with all the other volunteers that are coming through.
Nearly a dozen came out to donate their hair, which will be used as wigs and hair pieces for cancer patients. This year, we raised $2,023. A portion of the proceeds goes to benefit the Edward M. Calvo Cancer Foundation.
Now for a look at your world at home. Here's an evening view captured above our studios here in Harmon.
Quite a view! Plus more Chamorro music that you can listen to anytime with this QR code on Isla Digital Radio.
Only Pizza Hut lets you surround your favorite pizza with greatness. The one and only stuffed crust pizza tempts your taste buds with melted cheese stuffed inside that amazing crust. And at just $18.99 with one topping, the stuffed crust pizza is truly irresistible. So grab your slice of pizza perfection with cheesy goodness baked right into the crust. The stuffed crust pizza, just $18.99 with one topping. Only at Pizza Hut, the island's best. KUAM Sports is brought to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together.
Don't tap out just yet. Welcome to KUAM Sports. Now time to check in with our partners at Clutch Guam.
Here's the final score.
Yeah, good job to everyone who was out there at the Clutch Jiu-Jitsu event.
Yes, congratulations. My brother-in-law, Kyle Palomo, won. So shout out to everyone in the competition. And don't go away because we will be right back.
KUAM Sports is brought to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together.
Don't need a work break, keep the smile on your face. The moments you can't replay, and I'll be around. Whoa, you can count on me. You can count on me for life.
Wherever life takes you, we're always here for you. Calvo's Insurance. Count on us for life.
This burger looked at one slice of melted cheese and said, more cheese. It looked at pickles and said, also onions. It wanted to be more than hot. It wanted to be juicy. This is the Quarter Pounder with cheese. If you thought one napkin for the Quarter Pounder with cheese was enough, it's not enough.
Finally tonight, your birthday wishes.
Here's your Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club shoutouts submitted on KUAM.com.
You got it.
March 20th, everybody, payday for some very special people and for a very special Guamanian. Happy birthday, Napu Napati. And your shoutout says, we would like to wish my son a happy 17th birthday. We love you and we hope you enjoy your day. You are getting all the love on the island, all the way. Jigo to Humatek, all the way, and the 7 miles in between. From the family. Congratulations and happy birthday to Napu.
Happy birthday to everyone celebrating out there. Estigui Ids and Mizu Primetime Show. Si Zuas Maasi put in a nega Guahusi Nekdogado.
Sa Guahusi Destiny Cruise, Nafan sa Fuhamsu sa Gosa Ipwani.
KUAM News Hotspot is brought to you by Calvo Enterprises, Inc.
Hafa day, everybody. This is the Hotspot. We are celebrating the arts today, and we want to give you the opportunity to participate in song, dance, a whole bunch of stuff. We're going to have a lot of fun and tell you all about it. All right, so this is what is on our show for today. Coming up, we tell you about the upcoming 2023 Guam Local Youth K-Pop Dance Contest. We want to get everybody involved in the art of dance. We're going to tell you about that shortly. That's happening this weekend, by the way. Also, we've got details to Little Shop of Horrors. We're going to have people who know how to sing way better than me, trust me. So please stay tuned for that. The Gate Visual Arts Program and FD Memorial School are going to put on that amazing Feed Me Seymour. That's a production you do not want to miss. And we're going to get a sneak peek from that production once more. All right, but like I mentioned, the 2023 Guam Local Youth K-Pop Dance Contest happens at GPO's food court in Tamuning. We were just there for St. Baldrick, so thank you, each and every one of you who came by and helped us conquer kids cancer this past weekend. There's a $1,000 cash prize for the K-Pop Dance Contest, and here are Ina Lee and Elizabeth Cruz. We are talking about everything. Whew! Ladies, I'm just winded just talking about the intro. I can only imagine how tired you must be. But Ina, I know you. This is a labor of love. You are never fatigued from doing amazing things for our island community. So very good to see you. And Liz, all the way over there, all the way technically in Dedido. But it's very good to see you. And we have these wonderful banners here. So let's talk about first about how popular, Ina, K-pop is, and specifically about dance contests based around that musical style.
Hafa day, Miss Chamorro. I am
Viva!
from the Viva. I am from the Rotary Club of Northern Guam. We are doing a K-pop contest. Every single students and teachers are very interested because of our youth are showing their dance contest as K-pop. Love K-pop.
Very, very nice.
Yes.
So what is the style you would say from K-pop? Because it is it more up-tempo? Is it like slower? I mean, the K-pop that I've seen, it's... I mean, you have to be in shape to do this.
Yeah, we don't have any limitation of what kind, but it's long as it has to be a K-pop.
Okay.
And it has to be a K-pop, not American song.
Okay.
It has to be a K-pop. But my chairwoman, Elizabeth Cruz, will explain more details about it.
Oh, very nice. And Liz, I think this is a wonderful way to reach out and get the youth involved in everything, because I mean the Rotary Club does so much amazing work for our island community. Typically it's an older demographic. I think this is a wonderful way to show the next generation of leaders on Guam exactly what being a Rotarian means.
Yeah, and it's really fun. And as you mentioned, it is very popular. And we had a discussion whether you could make an American song, a K-pop dance, but our president wanted it to be a Korean song. And it's amazing the phone calls that we got, the interest. And what was surprising to me is young adults inquired, and I had to tell them that this was limited to middle school and high school students. But it was interesting. I thought if we do this again, that maybe we would check out young adults.
Okay, can we talk about the parameters of the actual competition themselves? So everybody, can they compete in teams, or is it individual dance?
Either one. Either one you can do. Either one you can do.
How large of a team can you have? Because I can see like an entire class wants to do this together, 30 people. And...
No, we're trying to limit it for 12 dancers.
Okay, that's still pretty big.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, it is.
That's what, Pete, that's a squad, right? That's a squad or two? In military terms, that's a squad. Yeah. So that's a good number of people, and you can do some very creative dances with that.
Yeah.
But one song, right?
One song.
Yeah, and
limited to
3 to 4 minutes, but we will cut the music if you go past 4.
Okay.
Most songs are about 3.5, I believe.
Okay. So once again, this is K-pop and 3 to 4 minutes, everybody. So don't think about doing Hotel California. You're DQ'd on both accounts. Okay. And this is why we're doing this right now, because it is very positive. It's going to be very, very fun. But I do not envy you, Miss Ina and Liz, for the judging. So what are you looking for as far as determining who the ultimate winner will be of that $1,000 cash prize?
Yeah, the judging is, I was recognized as our DOE Superintendent Judy Wampa will be one of them. And our 5 clubs of Guam, local Rotary clubs or presidents will be participate, and they donated for the cash prizes also. And we have some senators that will be joining us, so it'll be fun. And the most important thing is we wanted to make sure that our youth are busy and happy, and then do what they would like to do and they love to do. And I just want them to know that we have a 4-way test to make sure that we recognize them and we love youth for our future of Guam.
Okay, real quick, I want to read this. Okay, so the four pillars, let's say, right? Is it the truth, right? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? And will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Good job.
Yes.
Future Rotarian right there.
Let me have the emoji, you guys. I want to say that's the unofficial 11th through 14th commandments. if they want to add like an amendment to the original 10 and everything like that, I think that would be very, very nice. Okay, so when it comes to the judging, Liz, like what are we looking for? Obviously positivity, synchronization.
Right, creativity. Luckily, our international director, Roberto Francassini, set up the criteria. I don't know if I'm allowed to share.
He knows a thing or two about like music and the arts.
Yes, production company. And so the criteria he had was performance, of course, which I believe, like you said, music selection, your costumes, your rhythm and coordination, and your originality are the criteria you're going to use. And I'm so glad I'm not a judge. You're right. It is so hard to do.
She'll be our MC.
Oh, very nice.
As good as you.
Okay, and because this is, again, we've got friends at GPO, because you're holding it in the food court, you're going to have a naturally large and very supportive, very inquisitive audience of onlookers who are basically going to, give their thumbs up, thumbs down too. I mean, this is Guam. Everybody's supportive of everybody else.
Yeah, I like to recognize at this moment to GPO, General Manager of Monty. It's very, very supportive, and it's platinum sponsored. I really appreciate it. I'd like to thank you one more time, Mr. Monte.
All right, Monty Mesa, and of course our friend Suzanne Perez, and the wonderful Nicole, the marketing manager. They set us up when we did our St. Baldrick's this past weekend.
They're very, very perfectly to
Absolute
do, and
pros.
they're professionals.
Very professional.
Yes.
It was so easy.
Okay, can we talk real quick? We got about 60 seconds. I can't even do my math right now. Liz, what is the registration process, and can teams still get in?
I believe we're still allowing it. I think we were limiting it to 10 teams, but there's still a couple openings. So I think that's not too late.
Okay, how can people register?
We have a form that we can send you if you give us an email, or they can contact me on my phone, which they can use is the 671-477-3347. Leave a message. It's really simple. You just put the name, if you're an individual, your contact number, email, the school that you attend, and your dance group name if you are in a group. And it's really simple. And the song you're going to do.
K-pop is massive these days, so I don't think you're going to have like no shortage of interest or people like really going out. Represent your school, everybody, and you know what? Wear your school colors too. So JFK, we want to see that green and gold. We want to see Ukudu. We want, and this also involves Dodea schools, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Any kind of school in Guam,
everybody,
private or public, we recommend everybody name it for middle school and high school. And lastly, we put out our second place and third place award cash prize.
Yes.
I won't tell you the amount, but we have a prize for second place and third place. So
hey, cash is cash.
Cash for you.
Okay. Yeah, and everybody, you know, do the responsible Guam sportsmanship thing. If you're there representing your school, when you have your performance, stick around and cheer on the other teams because it's all about being one big community. So Ina and Liz, thank you so much. We look forward to seeing it there and seeing what the kids have in store.
Thank you very much, KUAM, for your sponsor also.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Our pleasure. All right, please stay tuned because Little Shop of Horrors is coming up right after this.
The wait is over, Guam. The all-new state-of-the-art car wash is now open at Cars Plus. Introducing Finish Line Express, open 7 days a week. The all-new drive-through car wash is also the largest car wash on island that can accommodate vehicles such as lifted Jeeps and full-size pickup trucks. Just roll up, pick a wash, insert credit card, or show your EverWash app and roll through. Plus, power vacuums are available to clean the interior. Show your vehicle some love today at the all-new car wash at Cars Plus and Mighty. Open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. 7 days a week.
Let's eat, y'all, let's eat, y'all, let's see if you can keep up with the beat, y'all. Take a seat, y'all, time to feast, y'all. Then let's see what you can really do for me, y'all. Crab legs, dog eggs, bon appetit, y'all. And another round of drinks, can't even speak, though. Can't keep my eyes off this precious cheese, and I thought I saw a wink, was that for me, y'all. RSVP, are you gonna be there with me?
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Hotspot. We're live on YouTube and Facebook, and if you were watching, like, you know, that little video screen, you saw us, like, change out, like, a whole bunch of, you know, like, items here up on the set. That's a stage change. That's exactly what our friends over at the Gate Visual Arts Program and Father Duenas Memorial School are going to be doing as they present Little Shop of Horrors, one of my favorite plays. And I'm not just saying that because one of my favorite Guamanians is here, Ernest Achoco, the director of yet another play. Also, the only guy on Guam that could pull off wearing a scarf in this kind of island heat. You can rock that, my friend. That looks very good.
Thank you. It's just for, you know, it's so that I don't show my fat.
Not at all. No mantika to hide there. Come on. Okay, and you also have a member of the cast playing with a runette.
We have Janessa Aleri here. She is one of my voice students. She's also a student at GW. And what role do you play again?
I play as a runette.
Yes, runette. Yes.
Okay, so that's interesting because, Ernest, I know we've talked about Little Shop of Horrors for years. That is part of the Greek choir, right? That kind of like narrates throughout the course of the 3 acts and everything. You basically tell the story, so you have a big responsibility.
I sure do.
Yeah, and of course, a lot of what you're doing is in song. So how is it actually like carrying like 3-part harmony as, you know, as you're literally carrying the story from one scene to the next?
It's really difficult because I have to know my note, and it's really hard because I listen to my other ronettes, you know, ronettes or crystals or, you know, chiffons, and I get confused because I'm like, wait, they're singing a different note. Am I on my right note? But then I just have to practice and rehearse, and then I got it.
Very nice. Ernest, I've always wanted to ask you, of all the plays you've done, you know, this one is, you know, we've seen generations of Guamanians do Little Shop of Horrors over the years for Gate. You've done so many Disney plays. Do you ever get nervous before opening night?
I'm always nervous for everything. And
so nothing's changed since high school, basically.
Never changes. And what they say is, if you have no nerves, then you're probably doing something wrong, right? If everything's calm, then there's something that's not right. So yeah, the nerves are a good sign for me.
There you go. Okay, and now I follow your Instagram, which by the way is fantastic. You guys make sure to follow it. Okay, what is the handle, just so everybody knows?
It's called Ernest. It's just Ernest Ochoco. All of my social media is Ernest Ochoco, and yeah, I do a little vlog thing that it's really fun called the Ernest Experience. So check it out.
Self-promotion too. And also the Instagram account that you guys have for this play. I mean, it's the cast members. There's a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff. There's a lot of rehearsals.
Yes, I connect my Instagram to theirs as well. So our Instagram for this program and for this production in particular is Gate VPA. Gate VPA Theater. Gate VPA Theater.
Okay, and here are some of the rehearsals. Now, again, maybe Janessa, you can speak to this and everything, because The music is so interesting. I would say for maybe your generation, it really predates you guys. How was it to actually learn this style of singing and, you know, like with the dance and with the dialogue and really capturing these characters?
I'm used to singing more like Disney songs, so learning this kind of music was really difficult, but it was really fun because I got to act a lot, which is something I have a hard time with, but this show really brought that out in me, like my fun side.
And right now you're seeing a whole bunch of people performing for the Muses. So instead of just having the normal traditional 3 girls who are playing the Ronettes, the Chiffons and the Crystals, I kind of created an army of them, like a Greek chorus, like a full-on Greek chorus. The way that the writers of the show intended, they wanted it to be a Greek tragedy comedy, and so
because in the movie there were only 3. Actually, I think that was Tisha Campbell's first movie, right?
Yes, it was. Yeah. It was hers. Yeah. So
see, you learn a thing or two here on the Hotspot.
And this is something really cool. I met Alan Menken in New York just recently.
No kidding.
Yeah, I asked for a sign from God. I was like, God, am I doing the right thing? And Alan Menken walks right into the room. I know, right? He's the writer. I know. And he's the writer of Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast. Yeah. All of that stuff.
Okay, there is a tie-in, and I'd like to ask, you know, one of the Ronettes herself and everything, because the themes in this play, and Ernest was saying this the last time I had him here before we did like the casting call. This speaks of heartbreak in this play. There's poverty. There's a lot of there's anger in this. I mean, there's a lot of redemption stories in this play, but also some of this stuff is really heavy. And if you come from a traditional Disney background where it's, you know, oh, Disney princesses, everything works out in the end, how is it to kind of like adopt maybe some of the darker themes in this play?
So I really think about my experiences. I kind of think of my mother because my mom's from the Philippines. So I kind of try to imagine what did she go through and how would that relate to where Ronette came from, Skid Row.
Yeah, there is the poverty thing. And this kind of plays, I guess, Ernest, maybe some of our people here, like locals, would identify with that. A lot of people going through some tough times, like in the pandemic years and everything like that. Maybe this might be cathartic. I mean, maybe actually some people might say, okay, and now I can laugh at this and everything because I've kind of been, you know, through that. But there's also the love, which is timeless.
Right. Yeah, of course. And I think that people will relate to this because the archetypes, the characters here are very much close to the things that we all kind of experience on Guam, and going through the pandemic, it's been heightened, right? Our emotional needs are now something that we need to put in the forefront and take care of ourselves. And this is kind of the show that will help you kind of see yourself and also release all of those pent-up emotions from the pandemic. Yeah.
Now, by no means, if you've never seen Little Shop of Horrors before, yeah, it's got like some heavy themes and everything, but it's also super funny.
Funny.
So how is it to actually try and, like, you know, carry what can be very challenging for some actors and everything like that, the responsibility of comedy?
So with that, it's really funny, honestly, because I see some of the other actors, and of course they want to like have a different scene for it. So sometimes it may be sad, but instead they make it a little funny. I think because they want to make the audience like laugh and giggle. And it works because all of the other cast members are also laughing with them. Yeah.
What is your favorite part of the play?
My favorite part about the play is
or
your
favorite scene?
Oh, my favorite scene. I really like the Meek Shall Inherit because they come in and it's just really lively. And there's this dance that the Muses do, and it's really fun. You guys should definitely watch it.
Okay. Perfect opportunity to go get those tickets. Okay, let's talk about when opening night is. I know when you're a director, you've got like a cajillion different, there you go, thank you, Daniel. You've got a million different decisions to make. You've got phone calls to make, DMs to send and everything like that. When does the curtain go up on the first performance?
So we have a school matinee performance on the 19th. That's the very first one for our schools, and we make it affordable for all the kids. And then we have our evening show, which is for the general audience, which is the 20th of April.
There you go, and that's going to be on a Thursday, which we used to call Thursday must-see TV. This is must-see play.
Must-see musical.
Yeah. Okay. Final. I know, Ernest, you better than anybody else on the island are a wonderful person who's made your livelihood out of assessing talent. We're going to ask you to assess some of our colleagues here, who we actually tried to sing some of the numbers, and we'd love to have your input as well. But final push, right? For people who have never seen the play, what are they going to take away from this experience, from the story, from the characters, from the music?
Want to try that?
Sure. I think it's about being aware of your environment, because of course we're from Skid Row and there's this plant that comes into play. And how will you react to that? How will you respond to that? As well as the other characters like Audrey and Seymour, they're both different people and they both kind of grew up in the same kind of environment. How will they respond to the plant? How will they respond to all this going on in their life?
Very nice. Do you necessarily see Audrey too as a villain? That's a tough one.
That is a tough one.
Maybe an anti-hero.
I agree with that. Because of course, Audrey too, I kind of see it as a villain because they're kind of eating other people, spoilers. But at the same time, I feel like Audrey too, there's some kind of good intentions with it because he kind of ate Warren, which is a dentist.
Audrey too eats bad people too, so
Audrey
we don't want to give too much of it away. Yeah.
But yeah,
okay,
I won't give too much away.
We hope you bring your appetite, for wonderful entertainment. But we'd like to ask you two to stay here because we have actually put together after this commercial break a sampling of some of the songs that we tried to cover, and we'd like your opinion on it as professional stagecraft practitioners. So please stay tuned. We got good stuff coming up from our news team who are taking on the soundtrack of Little Shop of Horrors when the Hotspot continues right after this.
Get up-to-the-minute news, plus access to alerts, streaming radio, promotions, and more on your mobile device by downloading the KUAM News mobile app, available at the App Store now.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
The most tempting part of your week is guaranteed to be the Subway and Chili's lunchbox hours. Catch it Mondays through Fridays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Breeze 93.9 FM as we bring you the greatest hits of your lifetime from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and the 2000s. So grab yourself a mouth-watering Subway Series Select sandwich or something sizzling and flavorful from Chili's. This lunchbox hour is brought to you by Subway, Eat Fresh, and Chili's, where more life and great value happen here.
Watch Mariana's artists, activists, and visionaries and their quest to protect, preserve, and promote our Chamorro culture on the Culture Club, a weekly feature on KUAM News digital platform and the KUAM News Weekend Edition.
Culture Club, brought to you by Hanum, the freshest bottled water made in Guam.
All right, everybody, we are professional broadcasters here at KUM, but we're amateurs when it comes to the stage. Ernest and Janessa are here from Little Shop of Horrors. You guys, if you would indulge us, because we are big fans of The Voice here, and we show that on KUM TV.
I love The Voice.
Okay, so you guys are familiar with the whole thing about
Okay,
we're going to play a clip from each of my coworkers in the newsroom who undertook it. I believe everybody does Suddenly Seymour. We're going to play like a short clip of them, and this is Matsuki Hirayama first.
Okay, cool.
Okay,
awesome.
and then we will pass judgment on first. So up first is Matsuki.
Up your head. Wash off your mascara. Here, take my Kleenex. Wipe that lipstick away. Show me your face. Clean as the morning. I know things were bad, but now they're okay. Suddenly Seymour is standing beside you. You don't need no makeup, don't have to pretend.
Okay, Suki's got range. I did not know that. She's got wonderful pipes. Okay, so if this was The Voice and she was basically like seeking your endorsement, would you turn your chair for Matsuki Hirayama?
Would you?
I'm so sorry, but no.
Okay.
I would have to say she's not ready at this time, and she would need to get a little bit better with her notes, and then she can come back and audition.
Harsh crowd. Okay, up next, Destiny Cruz. By the way, a professional musician, so she.
Ooh,
So
cool.
okay, so she's gonna bring it. Here's Destiny.
Nobody ever treated me kindly. Daddy left early and Mama was poor. I'd meet a man and I'd follow him blindly. He'd snap his fingers and me, I'd say sure.
Okay, so that was Destiny Cruz again, professional musician, guys, or as we like to call her, Beyonce Jr. Okay, would you turn the chair for Destiny?
Yes, I can see her potential.
Okay.
Yep. For me, I would have pressed that button right away.
Wow.
Right away.
Okay. All right, so here's Julian Hernandez, big comic book fan. How is she with the karaoke mic? Let's see.
Lift your head, wash off your mascara. Here, take my Kleenex, wipe that lipstick away. Show me your face clean as the morning. I know things were bad, but now they're okay. Suddenly Seymour is standing beside you. You don't need no makeup. Don't have to pretend.
Okay, a little non-traditional. She kind of like took that, took the range in a different area, but nonetheless cool.
She made it her own.
Okay, so if you were judge, does your chair turn for our friend Jules?
I'm sorry, no, it was different, but it just caught me off guard in a way.
Okay.
So for me, I can hear the potential in her voice. I think she just doesn't know the song very well, but if she had a chance to really learn it, I think she should have some potential to do it. So I would press the button. Yeah.
Okay, you would?
Spinning around, yeah.
I was like, Ernest, man, they went to, we got two girls here that went to Sanchez, man. What's wrong with you?
I know, sharks.
Okay.
Gotta stick together.
Nick, okay, so we've had the ladies of the KUAM newsroom. Here is Nick Delgado with his interpretation of Suddenly Seymour. Go, Nick.
Nobody's ever treated me kindly. Daddy left early, Mama was poor. I'd meet a man and I'd follow him blindly. He'd snap his fingers and me, I'd say sure. Suddenly Seymour is standing beside me. He don't give me orders, he don't condescend.
I never knew Nick was a baritone. You know, for St. Bonner's, he lost his hair, but not his vocal cords. So please tell me you would turn your chair, Janessa, for my boy Nick.
I would turn it, but I'd be also a little bit hesitant, like with the notes. But of course, I see the potential.
Wow.
I'm the same. I would turn it because I know he's got the potential. Nick's got it. He's got it. You know.
Okay, so
he just needs a little help. That's it.
Okay, so if you enjoyed the sweat endorsing stress that I've had, well, you know, thank you for your honest criticism. I think that's very, very fair, very well earned. Make sure to check out The Voice on KUAM TV. We're going to take a real quick commercial break, and we are going to show you how the pros do it. The cast themselves of Little Shop of Horrors is belting out Suddenly Seymour. When we return, we're going to give you the sneak peek of what's coming to the stage.
Buenas Zenhafides. As you all know, our island's had a very successful year, and I'd love to hear about all of the progress we've made. Skylar, why don't we start with you?
We've helped over 1,200 Guam kids and their families pay for childcare.
And that's over $5.5 million in childcare costs so far. Over 130 after-school and community care programs have received grant funding for programs like swimming.
And cycling.
And soccer. And jitsu.
We've also graduated 3 cohorts
in our provider certification program at GCC.
And certified over 75 relative care providers.
Looks like we have a messaging coming from headquarters.
Hi kids, I just want to say congratulations on all your successes this past year.
Thank you, Governor Lou. We couldn't have done it without you.
Keep up the great work.
He's ready for recess.
This ad is paid for with funds administered by the Department of Public Health and Social Services.
Catch KUAM News Hotspot, a multi-platform news program broadcasting and streaming at 11 a.m. on KUAM TV8 Tuesdays through Fridays, with rebroadcasting at 3:30 p.m., as well as live streaming globally on our Facebook Live and YouTube digital platforms. Jason Solis features a blend of local, national, and regional news, plus lifestyle and entertainment features and extended interviews with top newsmakers.
KUAM News Hotspot is brought to you by Calvo Enterprises, Inc.
Local Music Mashup. For the first 3 Thursdays of every month, sit back, relax, and vibe out as we showcase Guam's local talent through their video submissions. Tune in for Local Music Mashup on KUAM TV8 at 6:30 p.m. and TV11 at 7:30 p.m. Or catch it on KUAM digital platforms. You're not going to want to miss this.
Local Music Mashup is brought to you by Burger King. You rule.
All right, real quick, we want to show you how it's really done on the stage. All right, so Ernest, can you set this up? This is, of course, Suddenly Seymour. Who performs this?
I'm not quite sure because we have several Seymours and several Audreys, but all of our Seymours and Audreys are phenomenal. There's Jose Valdez, Matua Salas, and Alex Alam, and we have Lauren, Nadia, Amanda, Julia, and Kyra as our Audreys. So
that's a lot of understudies, each one of them amazing.
Plenty, but they're all good.
Yeah, here's what you can expect to see.
Lift up your head, wash off your mascara. Here, take my Kleenex, wipe that lipstick away. Show me your face, clean as the morning. I know things were bad, but now they're okay. Suddenly Seymour standing beside you. You don't need no makeup, don't have to pretend. Suddenly Seymour is here to provide you sweet understanding. Seymour's your friend.
And fittingly, as the curtain was rising in that clip, the curtain will rise. Once again, 19th is going to be the school performance, and then the 20th, we got some really good things coming up.
Yes, so the 19th, 20th, and 21st will be our school matinees, and then the 20th through the 23rd will be our evening shows for the public.
All right, once again, Ernest, bravo.
Thank you.
Flowers.
Flowers.
There you go.
I'll take them.
And Janessa, thank you for sharing your passion for the craft, and we would say, hey, break a leg.
Thank you.
All right, and thank you for watching The Hotspot. Do not break a leg out there. That's only for people that do stage
theater,
craft. Yeah, only if you're in the theater. All right, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful lunch, you guys. We will see you tomorrow.